Okay, so you've probably seen some of these headlines popping up in your feeds recently. They're pretty wild.
Oh, yeah. Like which ones?
Well, things like Morgan Freeman tried to humiliate Karoline Leavitt. Her response brings tears to him. I mean, it sounds almost absurd, right?
Right. That specific phrasing even sounds a bit off.
Exactly. Or even more dramatic, Caroline Leavitt canceled after Morgan Freeman sues her for $80. Just really sensational stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, those are big claims.
So on the deep dive today, our mission is really to unpack these kinds of viral claims. We want to dig into the sources you shared with us and figure out what's, actually going on behind the scenes.
See if there's any truth to it at all.
Precisely. Did any of this stuff ever actually happen?
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how fast stories like that can spread online. It's really a perfect example of why it's so critical for you, for everyone really, to examine what you see online.
Especially the really out there stories.
Exactly. Especially when they seem just too wild or, frankly, too unbelievable to be true. You got to ask questions.
So with these huge claims buzzing around, what did our deep dive into the source material actually find? Did these dramatic encounters happen? Any kernel of truth?
Well, after looking through everything, our investigation led us to a pretty clear core finding.
Which is?
There is absolutely zero evidence that Morgan Freeman and Karoline Leavitt have ever had an interview together, let alone some kind of public confrontation.
Zero.
Zero. These claims appear to be entirely fabricated, just made up.
Okay, so completely false. And how quickly was this figured out? I mean, how are they debunked?
Pretty quickly, actually. They were thoroughly debunked by several reputable fact-checking outlets, organizations like Snopes, Lead Stories.
The usual suspects for digging into this stuff.
Right, and Sportskeeda, too. They didn't just say false. They really traced these stories back, showing how they were, pretty intentionally fabricated right from the start.
But knowing it's fake is one thing. The origin story here is, well, it's kind of surprising, isn't it? It really shines a light on the challenges we face now with online information. Where did they actually start?
Yeah, the sources we looked at point directly to some, let's say, less than reputable websites, specifically one called Read and Know.
Read and Know. Never heard of it.
Its address is readtime.online, and the content is described basically as AI-generated slop, low-quality stuff just designed to go viral and get clicks.
AI generated, so like robots wrote this story?
Essentially, yes. And it wasn't even good AI, apparently. Sophisticated AI detectors, tools like Quillbot and even Grammarly now has features for this, they easily flag the text as artificial, not written by a human.
Huh. And this pattern, is this something we're seeing more of? Targeting specific people?
Well, this particular rumor, it isn't really isolated. It seems to follow a broader pattern, kind of a trend of false narratives targeting Karoline Leavitt specifically.
Since she became press secretary.
Exactly. Since January 2025, it's a very public-facing role, which unfortunately often attracts these kinds of fabricated attacks. We've seen similar debunk claims about her, like supposedly appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live or debating Stephen Colbert.
Which also never happened.
Never happened. There were even these completely bizarre claims about Freeman and Robert De Niro jointly confronting her. Again, totally false.
So the motivation behind these seems pretty clear then. It's just clickbait tactics.
Looks that way.
Yep.
They rely heavily on it. They completely lack any verifiable sources. And honestly, they seem to exploit political and cultural divides just to get engagement.
Regardless of the truth, it's just about getting eyes on the page.
Exactly. And think about the lack of any real evidence. No reputable news outlets covered this alleged confrontation. There are no videos, no photos. You can't find anything substantial on Google, Bing, X, Facebook. Nowhere credible.
That absence of evidence across the board is pretty telling, isn't it?
It really is. It raises that big question for you, for all of us. How do you sort the real from the manufactured online?
Right. So the key takeaway from this deep dive isn't just, oh, check your sources, though that's crucial. It's more about understanding the anatomy of how this stuff works now.
The mechanics of modern misinformation.
Yeah. These stories play on our biases, our attention spans, and now with AI, they can be created and spread so easily, so quickly. It makes it more vital than ever to look past the crazy headline and really dig.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you to consider. As information just keeps getting generated faster and faster at this unprecedented pace, how do we, as critical thinkers, make sure we're not just consuming it, but actually understanding where it comes from and, maybe more importantly, why it was created?
A crucial question indeed.